These perfumes defined a generation of perfume wearers, defined future generations. They may be past, they may be present, they may be even the future. Hi, I'm Gabrielle, and I scent storytell. I'm different. I'm not like other people out there. We're all unique. So if that's you, and you feel that you want a little slice of a scent storytell, then please, you know what to do. So in today's edition, I am talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 perfect scents that you can still purchase today that have spanned over decades, literally. So let's talk about the first one. Circa by Robert Piguet, which defined the perfume industry. It was a rebellious perfume, and for good reason. It came out just after the war, 1948. This is a reformulated version, but it performs just as well, for me anyway. This is probably in my top 3 of tuberose white floral scents. This is austere. This was intended to be worn with vigour. Fracas meaning noisy, meaning disturbance. Yeah, I like to create that. In a good way, of course. And it, to me, maybe it helped to liberate people. It helped to liberate women after the war. Who knows? However, this is strong and loud and bold, vivacious, glamorous, dressed up, dressed down. Remember, this was from a different era. This is what people wore in that time. It's not dated. It's never going to be dated because it creates a fracas. Now, this next one, I feel maybe just came out just after fracas. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm hardly ever wrong. The last time I think I was wrong was in 1997. However, I digress. This is Dior by Dior. Dior. The reason why I've chosen this is because it set a benchmark for Lily of the Valley scent. This is a go-to scent if you're looking for predominantly a Lily of the Valley white floral accord, which is hard to create. It's created of 3 different molecules, I do believe, that creates this fantasy note which mimics Lily of the Valley. Regarded by Christian Dior as a lucky floral, a fortunate floral, a floral for May. So Diorissimo, and this I have used a lot, as you can see, is an eau de toilette, newer formula. I still love it. I do still love it. This is dainty, delicate, but it has a presence. I mean, I will never ever wear a scent that doesn't really have presence. This is probably the most floral forward, like its predecessor as well, Fracas. The others aren't as much. But this is an eau de toilette. I love it. I've had so many compliments from wearing this. It's fresh, it's unique, it's that delicate white flower, which is the lily of the valley, can be bridal. It will get you noticed. I do spray about 7 or 8 sprays of this, so I do overspray a little bit. I would love to get my hands on a vintage extrait de parfum, which is a perfume extract, which they do go for exorbitant prices, although there are some that I've seen under 150. So Diorissimo by Dior, classic Lily of the Valley, classic benchmark for a Lily of the Valley scent. It was a scent that really defined those scents that portray that Lily of the Valley. Now we've moved on several decades, yes, but it's still 40 years ago, and actually this year, this fragrance is 40 years old. This bottle isn't. This bottle is about 25 years old. So it's still semi-vintage. Poison by Dior, the Eau de Toilette, classic OG. The one that was possibly banned from restaurants because it smelled so strong, like its predecessor, Opium. I've said this before and I'll say it again. This is a polarizing scent. However, I've had compliments from wearing this. It suits my skin perfectly. And when I've told people what I'm wearing, they are in shock horror. Because I think this name has had such a bad rap over the years. The name Poison alone sounds bad and dark. But to some it would be outdated now. However, no, not to me. This is classic perfumery done so well. And when it came out, it actually was so different from all of the fragrances out there. Remember, this was the time in 1985. Big, bold, strong. We needed something like that. And boy, did they make the money from it. Boy, did Dior make money. And they probably still do, because it's beloved by so many and it's recoiled. Some people will recoil with this. However, that stewed, plummy, white floral witch's brew is Poison by Dior, is the go-to scent for a classic gothic scent that's out there. Tried to be copied, but it can't be. This is the original. Go smell it. You may or may not like it up close. On skin, on my skin, it dances. Quite a little ritual, if you please. Moving forward to 1992. You know it, I know it. Angel by Thierry Mugler. This is a vintage bottle from the 90s, OG. And I have a backup bottle of this because I love it so much, because it was, and not so much now, my signature, but it was through the 90s. It defined me as a woman of transgender. It defined me as the person that I am, that I was, that I am, and I'll forever be. This is that patchouli, cotton candy, caramel, and you know I don't really like those notes. However, mixed with the patchouli, it dances on my skin and it suits my skin. It doesn't suit everybody. However, when I wear this, people know me. People say, oh, that's the Gabby we love. It has bittersweet memories for me. But looking back at those bittersweet memories, I can now look to them and smile at them. And I haven't really said that before. So to me, Angel, 1992, classic, the first one of its kind that was modelled by Jerry Hall, if you remember that advertisement in the 90s. This will never go out of fashion. This will never go out of my collection. This defined, this actually helped, I think, fragrance evolve into another dimension. Angel. Perfect for me. And finally, I'm going with a very different scent that I don't really talk about. However, this one is for you, my transistor. If you're watching, you know who you are. Britney Spears' Fantasy. Yes, some people will hate this. Some people will love it. This, although Elizabeth Taylor, let's face it, did bring out probably the first, one of the first celebrity scents. This, I think, is 20, well, maybe 10, 15 years later when this came out in the 2000s. This created a new generation for the celebrity scents. However, this isn't Fantasy. I don't own the original. This is a flanker. This is the Fantasy Intense, which I love, and I've got down to about here now. So I do wear it. I've called it my guilty pleasure. However, I'm going to rephrase that. It's not a guilty pleasure. I will feel nothing but guilt wearing this, especially at the moment, because this is a happy scent. This is a confident scent. This scent for me right now is bringing me confidence and is bringing me up. So if it's doing that for me, the game is over. This is sweet. It's slightly sugary. Some would say it's juvenile. People have all of these different opinions. However, for me, no matter if you're 19 or if you're 90 and you want to wear this, you can. No one is stopping you. Only what society is telling you is stopping you. Think about it. Because there are no boundaries when it comes to perfume. No boundaries whatsoever. To me, perfume defines you. It can make or break you sometimes. And we don't want to be broken because we've already been broken before. So we're not going back. We're going to Britney Spears' Fantasy Intense. So for you, this, my transistor, is trans girl magic. So what are your perfumes that you feel defined the perfume industry, that defined us, that changed the perfume industry? Maybe you disagree with me and you think none of these have defined the perfume industry. That's okay. That's your opinion. Some people would say that's my truth. I say that's your opinion. And this is my channel. So you've been watching another edition of the Fragrantition. My name is Gabrielle, and I scent Storytell. Till next time, spray with gay abandon.